Can we really be that convicted towards the South Korean market?
Good morning. I am now. I'm coming around to it, and the initial excitement, but then also the well-rooted skepticism that was in Japan a little over a decade ago. And you see where we are now in Japan. I don't think it will take more than a decade in Korea. The desire of the government to reduce the Korea discount and in some cases turn it into a Korea premium is genuine. So it won't take a decade.
Because why do you think what do you get the sense it's going to happen faster in South Korea than it did in Japan? Because, I mean, there potentially could be a lot of pushback, against these reforms in South Korea.
Yes, so those are all fair. I think the one big difference, or the reason that this will be faster in South Korea, is because they can look to Japan and see that this actually does work. People just focus on the last 2 to 3 years. There are a lot of lessons that have come out of Japan across sectors, across market caps, of what works. And so they have that blueprint, whereas Japan did not. I think it was more revolutionary then. Various countries in Asia have been traveling along these arcs of improved corporate governance. I was speaking to somebody yesterday about India. When I moved to Asia 19 years ago, and you compare the collective intelligence and the will of corporate India to be benign towards minority shareholders, that has changed a lot. That has taken 20 years, and Japan has taken about 10. I think in Korea it will happen more quickly.
The dividend payments and the share buybacks is something that can be easily implemented. We've seen some companies starting to increase dividend payments, doing more share buybacks. So that's a positive start. And we need to see more of that.
Many say Japan, it took 10 years, but South Korea will take less than that. And of course, cautious optimism is how I describe the street's view at the moment. But perhaps this is going to really bring in the national team, perhaps the domestic pension funds. How much of a liquidity flow do you expect from pension funds? Is that going to be a main driver, perhaps to entice some of the foreign investors and watchers?
I think foreign investors would clearly be interested if we see companies pay more dividends, do share buybacks, or breaking up their corporate structures. The biggest investor in Korean equities is the Korean pension fund, the National Pension Service, NPS, in Korea. I suspect they would be quite happy with that as well. They have their own sort of pension liabilities, people that they have to pay. So if the Korean market valuations could go up and they get more dividends, I suspect they would be quite interested in this as well.